Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we are working on our final factory to finish up the space elevator, which means we need to automate sculptors, servers, and ballistic warp drives. And last time, along with checking out some new stuff in Satisfactory 1.2, we did a little accounting of our world to make sure we had enough resources to actually complete my plans. And good news, we're good. Bad news, we need to get most of these resources. And quite frankly, that kind of scares me. But it's okay if we just tackle things bit by bit. Or we just ignore them for now and save them for future kibs, yippee! No, instead of resource collection right off the bat, I want to build infrastructure around the desert. I'm talking like hypotube cannons, walkways, power infrastructure, and the works. Because everything's kind of a bit of a mess right now. And also, after completing our last project, the last thing I did was add in like personal hypertubes and stuff. And you know what? Kinda could have used those at the very beginning. And we're not gonna make that mistake here. So it's gonna be a pretty simple blueprint where we're just going to have a little bit of a foundation here. We're gonna make sure that this path thing we're making is the same size as a 4-meter foundation, just in case we wanna attach this to a building or something like that. And then I want one side that will be for hypotubes moving and grooving. And then another side that'll just be like a personal walkway. So this will be for the hypertubes. Then we'll just have the normal walkways on the other end for me. And maybe you, if you want to download my world from Patreon. But okay, there are the basics. Kinda looking boring, not gonna lie. Let's add in a little pizzazz, just a little bit of pizzazz, right? This is gonna be a lot going on in this project, so we don't have to do anything too crazy. But you know, a little extra concrete beam could be kinda neat. Right there. Why? No good reason. This looks cool. And then later on, we'll add in the hypertube stuff once this is all said and done. I don't wanna add this into the blueprint just because I don't know exactly where the hypertube's gonna go. It could go up, it could go down, it could be moving all around. So for now, we'll leave it kind of blank. Last thing is just a bit of support with the ye old frame Walorinsky. Can snug you in right there. And just so this is centered, that's all gone. Pretty much it. Very simple, very straightforward. Got a walking path for us. We'll have the hypotubes there. And then underneath, there's some room for belt work. Because yeah, I learned a lot from the last project, and leaving plenty of extra room for logistics is always a good idea. And okay, I think we're just gonna build our main like little walkway area next to our train track. At least in the beginning here, because we can actually fly next to it, which is very nice. We'll raise up the path a little bit as well to add some height variation, and we'll leave a block in between in case we have to have some belt work going up or down or moving all around. Again, trying to leave future kibs some options here. And if all things work out great, we're gonna bring this path forward and it's not gonna hit that ramp that's directly in front of us. It can't happen. Practically impossible, right? Ooh, it's looking pretty close. No clipping, please. Oh my gosh. Oh, whoa, no, we are super good. That is a lot of space. All right, thank goodness. Good omen for today. However, we'll probably want this path going in that direction and other directions. So, yeah, just to leave the whole thing and build it a little bit higher. I think it was worth it. A little bit more room, and then when we're on the path up here, we can look down and see the trains going choo, and isn't that fun, right? For sure. Hypertube's in as well. Now we gotta figure out how to use this thing. Now, ideally, we're gonna take this blueprint, we're gonna go in a bunch of different directions, right? And when we're in this hypertube here, we wanna go in the different directions as well. So this is why I didn't include this in the blueprint, because at any random point, I'm just gonna be like, junction time. Chuck one of these in, build a path, going out this way, and we'll see where the journey takes us. Another convenient thing here as well with this design is we can get rid of this, that, and the other things, and we can go over those hypertubes whenever we want, so we can go in the alternate directions as well. Easy peasy. But yeah, no, big problem is getting in and out of the hypertubes. We need an entry and exit system. An easy solution is we could just have something like this. We can use that to get in and out. But can you put a hypotube entrance on these things? Oh, you can! Ooh! Okay. Simple solution right there. We want to go this way. Off we go. Want to get out. Loop onto the platform. No biggie. Or we can radically overcomplicate things. But trust me, if this works out, it's gonna look so cool. Because the idea here is I want to make something like a bus stop or something, where we walk up and there are entrances and exits for the hypertube. Or if we're in the hypertube, we can press E to like leave the hypertube, or we can just hold forward and keep on going to like a different destination. But the big thing is I want to fit all on one tile here, which is where things are gonna get a little weird. And I am certain, no matter what, we're gonna need to go uppies, for sure. Then we'll have the hypertube here, hypertube there, and now what? Now what? Well, what I'm thinking is we'll have these kinds of junctions that will kind of go up and plop us down onto the path over here. And then maybe we could have a little junction on the path that goes to a pickup point. So one tube will plop us here, the other tube will suck us up, and we can choose the direction in the hypertube, which makes everything even more complicated. Would this ever work? Don't think so. At least we'd have to move these back quite a bit. And maybe we can use this hypertube branch to dodge this intersection. So if we press like E, we'd switch out to this, scoot on around, and continue forward. But in the middle here, that's where we can actually leave the hypertube or enter the hypertube. And for that, we'll probably need a vertical junction. Probably like here, might even need two. Again, we want to keep this into one tile. That would be so convenient, but also so difficult. Plus we have to have this on the other end. Both of these noodle on into the junction here. And you probably can scoot over there. Okay, looking good. How do we get back in though? Like, say this is the entrance. We have a hypertube that goes up and faces down. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, what is happening? That's demonic, okay? Weird. But say we had a hypertube that actually connects from here and points down here. Well, yippee, we're on the path. But then how do we get back in? Or could we use the entrance and exit as the same thing? I don't think so. Also, this entrance or whatever we built here does not want to behave at all. Like what, why? Why are you there? Funky. Okay, more complicated it is then. Another junction, scooting on up. Oh, that actually fits in pretty well too. Doesn't clip too much. Okay, hold up. And then you, I guess can do this. Do a little bit of that. We can organize this a little bit better later on. Now things are gonna get a little weird. Have these there, just to scoot on through. And one side can be the entrance, one side the exit. And because our little tricks with the supports aren't working, we will improvise with the floor holes. You go to here, you go to there. This connects up, no problem at all. Totally. And you know what? Conceptually, this works. There's our entrance, there's our exit, chillin'. It kind of looks like a palm tree. Not exactly the bus stop aesthetic that I had in mind, but the idea is all there. Just had to go ahead and dress it up a little bit more. So same thing we just built, just use some straight pipes a little bit better. Actually connected some things together. So there's a boost here. So we enter through here, go through this, then we're boosted again, go into the main track. And then I wrapped it all up in this little bus stop thing. So we have a large billboard up here, some beams. I like it. It looks like a proper like train / bus stop. We have the belt work underneath, the path will work out great. It'll just be a little finicky trying to like choose our direction, because we're gonna be boosted really quick through here, and then we have to quickly press E to choose which way we actually wanna go. But that's a skill issue. We're gonna be working in this desert for a long time. So I'll get used to it, or I'll change it. I don't know. All I know is I nailed the name. We are calling this the Hypoose. Get it? Hypoose? Because the hypertubes and it's a hoose like our project hoose? Oh yes, big fan. And since I kept it all to one tile, we can install them wherever the heck we want. Like right here at this junction. So Hypoose sits pretty, connected up to our infrastructure that I'm putting together here. We'll skip the junction for now. And we'll have to manually build some of this stuff out, which is okay. And power-wise, I used the beams to connect up all the power all over the place. Except now, we just need a connection. And also, I am so sick of like flying back and forth here. 1 second. Give me my extra singularity cells. We're setting up a temporary portal. Waste resources, maybe, but it saves me time, and time is the most valuable resource of all, right? Wrong! Everyone knows it's YouTube likes and subscriptions. Remember to leave a like. No, okay, so we're gonna just have temporary portals while we're setting up the hypertube stuff. Good news is though, got the power all hooked up, so now we can give this a bit of a test run here, and we'll see how she goes. All right, let's try and go this way. That was very, very simple. Let's head on back. See the little blinky thing there? I think that means we skip this junction. Yeah, all right. Then the other way. We want to press E now, and that should take us to the exit. So we get blooped right onto the path. Cool. Now we want to take this and go that direction. Go in, spam E. And there we go. Not too bad. And because I snuck in that extra hypertube entrance, we got a little bit of speed there, but that is weird, to say the least. I wonder what's happened there. Oh, you know what? Wait, I can't even delete this? What? It's a ghost. How? Oh, now I can. What the heck? Okay. Weird things in old Satisfactory the video game here. Very weird things. Lots of stuff happening, including this giant belt highway. I was like, hey, we're building this all out. I want more power around here. So I was just like, we're building in a belt highway. This is actually an old blueprint that I've had for a long time here. It's already available on like Patreon and the Discord. The highway support thing that we used in the Rocky Desert. Very, very convenient, especially with auto-connecting belts. So just set this up pretty quick. And while I was setting up the Hypoose and all this stuff, I also was using the zip line to go back and forth a little bit. Realized that was too slow. Then I had a genius idea of adding in a Mark 6 belt into our walkway. So if we want a peasant trot, we can. We want a really moving groove? Oh, we can. It's kind of clipped together, but it works. Gotta make the hypertube system a little redundant, yes, but also Hypoose. Like, come on, it looks cool, right? I think so. So I'm happy with it. And infrastructure-wise, we are pretty good. This is very, very easily expandable, and so I think we're gonna let it rock and roll. We'll send a path over this way, probably another path over that way, and just like that, we are able to get wherever we want in the whole biome, lickety-split, no problems at all, which will save me lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of time. Next up though, is the last major piece of infrastructure. So I've picked out the center place, you could say, for our projects here. And now we are going to build a road network around the entire biome. Satisfactory 1.2 has added in some cool new road stuffs, so I would be remiss if we didn't have some trucks going beep throughout the biome here. And so, I've quickly whipped together some road blueprints. A very basic straight road here. We just have a little support underneath, some details on the sides, and kept it pretty straightforward and simple, so that whenever we need to add in a turn point, it's not a whole complicated thing. And same deal with like T-junctions, and the inevitable ramp or two. This biome, a little crazy. Probably gonna have to go up, down, move all around. And the nice thing about the ramps here is I've added in these beam connectors. We don't have angled walls or barriers. So instead, we'll just have some beams. So with that at the bottom, we could just grab like a shelf beam or something, bring that on down diagonally. And then we already have the snapping points, so it won't take us all too long. Maybe a minute or two. And overhead support, because most likely we are going to have to bring belts and machines or whatnot over top of the road. So I was like, we'll just make this a add-on right here so we can quickly do so whenever we have to. Maybe we can throw some signs onto it as well. Who knows? Many, many, many options. It's also one of the reasons why I kept the designs very simple. Just so if we need to augment things, don't have to dodge a bunch of signs or maneuver around details. It's very simple, just to add in things here and there and call it our day. And also, we need things to be simple because we gotta figure out the truck pathing. All of it has changed with Satisfactory 1.2. The old world is gone. No more recording your own paths. No more jumps. No more vehicles crashing together. Pretty much, the truck pathing works just like trains, or at least that's how it looks. We're gonna quickly have to dive into Satisfactory 1.2 to really figure things out though. So we are back in Satisfactory 1.2. Game is updated, fluid trucks, weather, the works are in. And just to mention again, we're not updating the main playthrough to 1.2 for a little while yet, because experimental builds of Satisfactory can be spooky. However, we gotta figure out the new truck mechanic stuffs before we plan out and build our road network. Okay, so let's see how this all works. So, fluid trucks, fluid stations, big deal. We're gonna be using them quite a bit, I'm sure. But the big thing is all of the new pathing. So you can make a custom path for each type of vehicle, but really, we're only gonna kind of mess with trucks. And if we're messing with trucks, I'm pretty sure that the truck path and like the universal vehicle path follow the same kind of rules. As in, if we are trying to make a turn, this is about the same kind of turn you can make with a truck. Let's just double check that real nice and quick though. What? Too sharp? Screw you. Doesn't matter, it's fine, it's fine. And then again, and we're gonna see that the shape is generally the same. Maybe a little bit wider with the truck? I don't know, seems about the same. Suffice to say, we're gonna mostly just use the universal vehicle path for my simple little brain to work with. And the main thing with these is that they work very similar to how the train tracks work, except they only work in one direction. There's an arrow, there is only one way that these can go, so no trucks going just straight back and forth. Gotta make it a loop no matter what, and that's the game. A little bit finicky though, I will say, except when you connect it, it's all blue, no problemski. Now, I'm more so curious about when we have crossings, where what I think's gonna happen is it's gonna work like the trains with block signals. So the vehicle on this little pathway here is gonna look into the green and be like, hey, is there a vehicle in this section? And ideally, stop over there. That assumption, we probably wanna have pretty small intersections, at least when we're building them. Like we'd build this through here, but then we'd build a separate path over this way. Now, will these be two different colors? No. So I'm not sure if that actually matters or not. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though. The main thing is if we build a path like this, can we drive a truck on it? And then what? How do we attach the truck? Vehicle path. Oh, we can see the path here. Enable autopilot. Oh, something is going on screen here. Enable autopilot, close out. Are you gonna run? Or no, I don't think this will run because it doesn't have a station. Fair enough. Also, what is this? Will it show you how much the fuel will do? Why does it show you all the different fuels? Wait, you can use heavy oil residue to power trucks? I didn't know that. That's kind of fun. Okay, anyway, truck is kind of stuck. So let's grab a station. These nicely snap right on here. And now, aha, fluid truck station. Bus. There we go. And two fuel stations. So we have to have two stations. Fair enough. But what if I wanted to have just a little funsy path? Where's my fun? It's okay. We'll just do that. We'll add in the two stations. Disable, enable. We lock onto the path here, and we're scooting. And yes, very, very, very much like trains now, which means the trucks and vehicles are super, super reliable. The hose is a little spooky though, not gonna lie. That's fine, because this should be scalable, right? Like if we just snap a truck onto this, locks on, add in a bunch, and boop bop. Oh, and look at this. Not only does it tell you like what fuels can be used, it also tells you the route cost. Oh, 0.1 per trip? How about these? 2.37 packaged heavy oil residue? And then fuel, practically half that. Wow. Part of me kind of wants to make a bunch of packaged heavy oil residue to fuel trucks just so we could have a bunch of purple barrels all over the place, but we'll see. And now they just are lining up, getting ready to rock and roll. Can we copy the settings? Control C, Control V, no. Gotta go from vehicle to vehicle here, adding in the doodads and letting her rip. And I'm pretty sure the vehicles are moving without fuel just because we're in creative mode. Now, Timmy, why are you not leaving? What's your problem? You even have fuel. Oh, that's so funny. You can add the same station for both of the route places. Oh, okay. So you still can do like fun truck pass if you want. That's really good. Yeah, I plan to do some crazy stuff with the trucks here. Speaking of crazy stuff, can we, what? It locks down the entire path? Come on, why gotta be like that? What if I wanted to send my vehicles off a jump or into a pit? No fun. What? Or maybe we still got some fun going on here. That's unique. I wonder if that's an experimental thing. Or I wonder if that truck just can't see the station? I'm not sure. Spooky though. Overall, everything seems pretty straightforward. And the last thing I just want to check is to see what happens when the trucks cross paths. I'm pretty sure they just wait for each other, but if you really load up these truck paths, I wonder what will happen. Snap that on there. 1, 2, 3. We'll call this Wowie. And you are Yippee. Boop bop. Yeehaw, cowboy. And have fun with all your friends as well. And now, trucks are moving and grooving. This is waiting. Ah, and I see. This whole green section is like one giant intersection. That's kind of the most important thing I needed to find out here. That means we really want to have like big truck loops. So these intersections can again be like super, super small. Like the intersection was just from here to there and one tile across in each direction. There would not be as much truck stopping or trucks getting stuck. Ooh, or having a station inside an intersection. Bad idea. Let's get rid of those. Intersection's clear, truck can see ahead, and yeah, it's just like trains pretty much. Right on, then I think we're good. So we are back in Satisfactory 1.1, and in our main world here, we got our logistics in, right? And I picked out this centerpiece for a reason. A, we're gonna build something cool there, but B, if we're building a road network, I need like a drop-off point. And I'm thinking somewhere around here will be that point. With the train tracks, they're gonna kind of circle into here at some point. A lot of the hypertubes and entrances end up here as well. And then even for the belt highway, the belts going in this direction end up right here. The belts over in that direction all come down, end up here. And right at the center, we will do something crazy. But for now, roads. Straight road on the bar. T-junction, sure. Turns, ramps. Probably won't build any supports, so we'll leave that be. Okay, there is one main thing I have learned in all of my hours of playing Satisfactory and building roads. This ain't my first rodeo. I've built some roads before, and the main thing I learned was that when you're building roads, is you want them to be covered. Holy smokes, you want something on top of your roads, or else things get so boring so quick. It's like you're looking at a view of a giant city and all you see are like the main roads and the parking lots and stuff, and it's like, ugh, lame. So for the most part, we're gonna have most of the roads underneath the train tracks, where the train tracks above would be moving like bulk items from one side to the other. Belts will probably carry raw resources. And then the trucks, they'll probably carry just miscellaneous things. Like say we make a bunch of motors over here, gotta bring them to like our center area or somewhere else. We'll have the trucks. So I guess something like a middle option is a good way to put it. And because they are going to be so reliable now, I am pretty excited to use them. We'll have the road just going out in a variety of different directions for the time being. And we'll leave it to future Kibitz to figure out where we want truck stops and things of that nature. At least on the periphery. There will be a major truck station area right in the center of the biome though. We'll just build forward for now. Switch over to a T-junction here. We'll have the main truck station area somewhere over in this direction. Then the other trucks will scoot over here underneath this train track, and we'll continue the roads down over there. And immediately I broke my own rule and built a giant highway out this way. Look, man, one more lane. I just need one more lane, more vehicles, okay? And then all the traffic would be sorry. city skyline kibs coming out there for a moment. No, the basics of the roads are done, most of which are built underneath the train tracks. Again, to be that middle system for if we need to bring in a couple random items here or there, and we'll expand it if need be. But for now, we are going to leave a lot of the road network just as is. We gotta wait for Satisfactory 1.2 in order to complete things. So, one last big project for today. Now that we have most of our major infrastructure bits in place, we gotta gather some stuff. Pretty much every episode, we gotta gather some stuff. We have to. There's thousands of items to bring over to this biome. So every day here for the next couple months, I'm gonna chip away at it. And today's little project is a train station that I built right around the corner, right over there. It's gathering copper right now and bringing it over to one of the hell spires to make copper powder. However, there's also like 2,400 iron ore right there. We got some limestone and, ooh, is that the precious black gold? Oh, I do ding do. Impure, ew. Billy, got some better oil down here. Normal, we take those. Normal, we take those. And probably impure again. Yeah. So that's 600, 900 crude oil. Yeah, we need that. In fact, we'll probably need that for fueling trucks. So, okay, we are going to transform this little station into something more usable. And in any world, the most important thing we need to do is get that oil, so we are going to get that first. Wait a second. There is one node there. That's 4 nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freight cars and a train. Oh no, Kibitz, please. Oh no, I see it. I've seen too much. What if we did a little bit of a fluid freight car kind of system? Huh? I'm pretty sure they buffed these as well, like the fluid freight cars can carry 2,400 material. But man, there's no way that would handle 900 crude per minute. Even with the train going like a short distance from like A over to B there? No, it's too much stuff. And in the back of my mind, I'm screaming at myself, Kibitz, use the fluid trucks. There's the oil, you could use a truck. Use the trucks. We're not using trucks either. I don't think so. No. We'll use the fluid trucks, guaranteed, okay? But over here, just getting the raw crude oil, I think we're gonna have to set up a packaging system. So we'll have the pipes scoot over here, scoot underneath this train track, and then scoot over to the nodes. And then if we're packaging all of that oil, how do we even do that? Oil packaging, packaged oil. 30 per minute per machine? That's so bad. Even fully overclocked, 75 barrels per minute? Excuse me, if we had 900 crude divided by 75, 12 freaking packagers and eventually unpackagers? You know what, it could have been worse, you know? It is what it is. The big question is, rule of cool. If we're putting in 12 packagers here, can we fit them all in a nice row? This is pretty much the make or break for the decision. If it looks cool, we're going with packagers. If it doesn't look cool, alternatives. That's like the length of the train station. How many was that? 6, 8, oh, 12 packagers is the exact length of the train station. Rule of cool must be followed. Kibitz, give it a boop. And okay, Heike, I did not expect things to look that cool. This is freaking awesome, dude. Oh, the packagers fitting in there. That was it. Spoke to my soul. So it's this very simple station. We get all of the oil from over here. We have the one full 600 pipe and then a 300 pipe. Scoots on down, like I was saying earlier, over to the station. Got a few buffers. Then the pipes go up. We have the supports for them as well. Over to the packagers. And then all the goods gather up and go into the freight car. And that's pretty much how a packager system works. We package the oil over here. Packaged oil is shipped out. Then the empty canisters will be returned, be offloaded, and recycled into the system. That way we can transport oil wherever the heck we want super easily. But yeah, no, didn't expect to cook this hard with the little station here. I love it. Honestly, a little sorry I booped the whole thing. Could have definitely made this a bigger part of the video, but what are you gonna do? Not like we're not gonna have 100 million other little projects like this to work on. So trust me, you'll see more of the design process later on. This is loading. Oh, we want this to load and unload. Oh, wait a second here. We might have a bit of a problem. So we're getting all the packaged crude, shooting that all in. Again, it's gonna be 900 per minute. Looks good. No problems, right? No, we have a problem. Oh wait, we have a lot of problems. Why is that looping around? The full crude barrels go back into here. Oh, and then are immediately unloaded to here, and okay. We need to have an extra freight platform for the crude. Frick, we're gonna have to sacrifice something. Well, actually, part of me was thinking we just don't bring over the limestone. We don't really need it. We have enough limestone for the project. And part of me is like, we could also just add in an extra freight platform here. But if we do that, then the packager rule of cool thing isn't gonna work. But can it still look pretty cool regardless? Yeah, you know what? Actually, that looks okay. Mostly because we already have this little miner Mark III over there. Okay, not the end of the world. Boop it again. Yeah, wasn't a problem at all. Added in the extra station, and we are good. We have taken some first steps in our journey of 100,000 resources. However, though, that is gonna be all for now. So if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. And until then, have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.